We're gonna come here because they want to play and they want to win.
Philly. I just
Like two chicken fillets, two fillets. Jay, two Chick-fil-A's.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the Big Cat Chat podcast. We are here for episode number 10, and the gang is back. Shawn is at the bottom. Brian is to the left of me, and then I'm here. Shawn, you weren't here last week. We had a guest. First off, how'd your mission go?
It was good. Mission success.
That's all that matters.
That's all I can say.
That's all I can say. But how you been besides that?
I'm pretty good. How about y'all?
Brian?
We're doing well. I got a new spot for my podcast location. I mean, same part in the apartment, just different spot in the apartment. Got a nice little light here. And I'm wearing a shirt, guys. It's a miracle. I'm wearing a shirt. After heavy backlash from the crowd, from the fans. I put a shirt on, and this will be the move moving forward.
Tank Gang is gone.
Tank Gang is officially dead. It's
so
unfortunate.
Is Hat Gang.
Had a good run. Yeah, two gangs are dead just like that.
All right, and one last thing is my quality looks trash because I'm in my room. I don't have my office right now, so
God, Shawn and I have great quality, and then you get this guy, the host, with crappy quality.
I know. My quality went from mid to good, and now it's back to trash. But
at least your camera's not changing colors and stuff.
Oh, that's what used to happen, bro. That was so bad. It's like giving people seizures mid-podcast. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. First things first, the Jags. To continue the slander of Urban Meyer, the Jags were fined $200,000 and Urban Meyer was fined $100,000 for OTA non-contact violations. Shanahan and McCarthy of the Cowboys and 49ers were also fined. You guys, I just put an image on the screen that showed the numbers and everything specifically. But the Jags were fined the most. Urban Meyer was also fined. The Jags also have to forfeit 2 OTAs during the 2022 offseason, and the fine stemmed from 11 on 11 with the wide receivers and DBs. So basically, they had too much contact in 11 on 11, which, if you ask me, soft, but
whack.
Stupid rule.
Soft word from me. One word response: soft, whack. Brian, what's your one-word response to this?
Atrocious.
Ooh.
Okay.
You went for a college word.
Bringing out the big
words.
It's
just such a stupid. It's just so like we even saw the video of what it was. I think that was what it was.
Where they had what Emmett Torbebe posted was not it, but still.
No, it's not. Regardless, it's just it's just so over the top. Like I get what they're trying to do. You're trying to be safe, but like. Was it that bad to fine them that much? Like, come on.
Shanahan did it, so I'm cool with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. If good coaches are doing it, then that means we're doing something right.
Apparently, you can't play press coverage in OTAs. Keep note. It's dumb, and the forfeiting 2 OTAs. It is what it is. I mean, at least it shows we're going hard this offseason. Is what it is. But that's about all for that. Then Trevor Lawrence. He's finally signed with the Jags. He's officially a Jaguar now. You guys saw my live reaction saying he's officially a Jaguar. Well, he's not. He wasn't officially a Jaguar until this past week. He signed a 4-year, $36.8 million deal with a 5th-year option and $24.1 million guaranteed. He's getting that bag.
Steal.
Brian, you gonna say anything?
There was like I forgot what was mentioned in there, but there was like a lot of like language or something. There's like a specific word for like something in his contract that he was pushing for and he got it. But overall, it seems like a good contract for both parties. I think everyone got what they wanted. Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, he deserves the bag. He got the bag, and I'm so excited for training camp. I'm glad we still got 3 guys left to sign too. It's Cisco, Walker Little, and ETN, I think.
Have we signed Tyson Campbell yet?
We have. He was like one of the first guys signed.
Oh, okay. I know Jalen Camp was the first.
He was the first, yeah.
It's always the late round picks who get signed first.
Yeah.
Because they're happy. They're just happy to get whatever money they can get.
Exactly. Right. They're just happy to get signed.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. So actually, I forgot to say, there was no episode last week. Sorry for that. There was a ton of scheduling issues. It was just a mess. We skipped last week. The schedule is back. Every Friday, there's a podcast unless something goes crazy again. But yeah, we added a new segment to the podcast, viewer question segment. If you guys want to ask us any questions, you can comment them down below, or I'm going to tweet every week on Twitter. You can go and follow our Twitter, @the Big Cat Chat, and you can ask us questions there. We're going to be answering all your questions every single week. We have 3 questions this week. First, Chark stat line predictions. I'll let Shawn take it away with the Chark stat line predictions. I made him do like 20,000 stat predictions last year.
I'm going to say 76 catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Bounce back season, baby. All right.
He's going to be the number 1, but it could be more if we didn't have Marvin Jones. It could be more, but I think Marvin Jones is going to steal a lot of catches because he's the veteran. But
And
I think
Visca.
I think Chark's going to emerge as a true number 1 this year.
Yeah, Visca also having all the talk about him being insane
Right.
during OTAs. So
Yeah.
I think Chark is a guarantee to be the number 1 receiver, but
Barring injury.
barring injury.
Put an asterisk on there. Like Visca, I could see Visca getting 100 catches,
Yeah.
barring injury, because I can see them just feeding him the ball. But he has to stay healthy before I can say that.
All
Right.
right. My Chark stat line prediction is 84 catches, 1,164 yards,
Ooh.
and 11 touchdowns.
Okay.
I'm going high on the touchdowns this year. He was a touchdown machine in 2019 with Gardner Minshew.
Right.
All right, Brian, what's your prediction?
I'm going to say more than 60, but less than 80. So I'm going to say about 77 catches.
For 777 yards and 7
No.
touchdowns.
No, but let's say 77 catches. He's going to break 1,000 yards. He's going to have 1,126. I'm going to be specific here.
I was
And
specific too.
He's going to get 10 touchdowns exactly.
I was not specific at all. I just said 1,100.
We're all in
1100
we're all in
1,100 some odd yards.
We're all
I
in
felt
the
like getting specific for.
Well, because Marvin Jones is going to get his, 900.
Marvin's going to get at least 700 yards.
I think Visca could break 1K too. I just think we're going to feed him the
Possible.
ball so much.
Yeah. It really depends on how good the run game is and how well. It also depends on how the defense does, because if we're playing from behind, we're going to be passing a lot more, as we saw last year. So.
Yeah, DJ Chark bounce back season with a competent quarterback. Let's go. Question number 2. It's a fantasy football question. Will Christian McCaffrey be deserving of the number 1, 2, 3 overall pick in fantasy this year, or will he be David Johnson 2.0? To answer that quickly, second half of the question, no, he's not going to be David Johnson.
Right.
Not at
First
all.
half
God,
of
that
the
would
question,
be such a fall from
uh,
grace.
I definitely would take him 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I'd take him for sure at 2.
Sam
sure,
Darnold is gonna be Captain Checkdown.
Yes. But yeah, I'd take him in the top 3. Number 1 depends on your league. If it's a PPR league, then I'd for sure take him number 1.
Yeah, I only do PPR. If you don't do PPR, you're whack.
Shawn using the word.
For
Shawn's
lack of a
favorite
better word,
Shawn's favorite word this week is whack.
keeping it PG.
Huh.
All right, Brian. I guess you don't know fantasy, so why are we?
I'm
even
not really
asking
too
you?
into fantasy, but I'll give my 2 cents anyway, since I'm doing it for the first time in 2 years again. Like Shawn said, if it's PPR, yes. If not, he could drop to the top 5. I mean, if people are
No, he's
worried
not
about
he's not dropping past 3 unless you're in a
He's-
league of crackheads.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to mention any names, but somebody did take Trevor Lawrence number 1 overall in our league. So I mean, you never know.
Somebody drafted Tim Tebow in our league. So,
Exactly. But yeah, I
it.
think he's still deserving of a top 3. I wouldn't say he's a number 1 in every single league or most leagues just because of that injury. But if he can return back to what he was last time, then yeah, he's going to be a top 3 every year.
Even last
Which
year
I
when he
think
was
so.
hurt, he put up like 30 points per game that he played when he only played a couple games, but still.
Yeah. And the Panthers are getting better, especially if Darnold actually like figures it out, and he's still very young. Both of them are. So.
He's a fantasy beast, man. This is
Yeah.
the first, and also like since you guys talk about you guys fantasy league, this is the first year I'm not doing any fantasy leagues. I've been in a pay league since like 2015. That every year, and I was like, I'm not doing it this year. I was like, it almost makes football unenjoyable to me because I get so freaking mad.
I get mad too, but for me, it gives me a reason to watch so many other games.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it got to the point where I was caring more about my fantasy than I was caring about the Jaguars games. And I was just like, dude, I gotta stop because there was money on the line because mine was for money.
Oh yeah,
so
I don't do money leagues.
I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm taking a year off.
Yeah, for me, it just because I enjoy football games in general, but having that extra reason or like thing to root for, that's what I enjoy the most about football. It's rooting for something. That's why I don't really care for basketball because I don't really care to root for anybody. For sports, I like to root for something, and fantasy gives me something to root for. But if you have money on the line, then that'd be a bit of.
Yeah, I'll probably still watch the majority of the games, and I'll probably just like I might help my brother with his fantasy, even though he probably doesn't need it, but. That dude's a freaking fantasy football genius.
I mean, usually what I do is I just watch the Jags game and then I like try to catch the ending of the game that comes on after them. Or I'll watch the
Red Zone channel, baby.
Yeah, Red Zone, yes sir.
I always watch the 4 o'clock games, and of course, he doesn't watch Sunday Night Football.
DirecTV, NFL Red Zone, not a sponsor, but you could be.
Hey, email us.
Oh my god.
All right, the third question of the viewer question segment is, regardless of record, what would fans think is a reasonable / successful season for Trevor Lawrence? For me,
like record notwithstanding, so they don't care about the record for this.
So no record included.
So like stat line, I'm guessing.
So yeah, I'd assume stat line.
Okay.
For me, I'd probably say 25 plus touchdowns, 10 like between 8 to maybe 12. On 12 is like the cap. Interceptions, and fumble wise, please just don't be a fumble machine.
I wouldn't even count fumbles. I don't really think that's something we should count for quarterbacks because sometimes you're just gonna get strip sacked and you can't really avoid that.
I mean, Minshew was a fumble machine his rookie year.
All right, I got mine.
All right, what's yours?
He needs to have at least 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, and no more than 10 picks. That was Justin Herbert's stat line last year. If he does not do as good as that,
wow.
Then Shawn's
people are going to say, but Justin Herbert had Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry. We have weapons, bro. We got weapons.
And our offensive line is not that bad.
And I know we want to run the ball. I get it. But bro, it's 2021. It's not 1994. I need something close to those stats. Something close to it. It doesn't have to be that exactly. Something close to that.
Yeah.
Give me 4,028 and 7, bro. I'm not asking for much. Just a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio.
Honestly,
dang.
I'm gonna say at least 3,000. I would probably say maybe like.
You don't throw 3,000 yards, then you got hurt.
Yeah. I'd say about 3,800 would be acceptable.
4K is my minimum. Throw 4K.
He has to have 4K.
I hope. Yeah, I would expect. I'm gonna say, let's say 4,100. Are we basing it off like acceptable or like what we expect?
Wait, no. What would be an acceptable?
Okay, acceptable. Season? So I would say 4,000, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
That's fair.
I think he'll throw more interceptions.
It really just depends on how many of these games were behind and how long we're behind in those games. Like how much of it's garbage time, how much is it real?
Yeah.
It's a lot of different factors. But I'd say 4,000, 25, 8 is acceptable.
I guess
he's getting,
I guess my stat line was a little egregious for just acceptable, but if we're gonna say just acceptable, then I'll say 4,000, 25 and 10. That's acceptable to me. But Justin Herbert had that, and in my opinion, he needs to have that. He needs to have that. He needs to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. He has to. There's no. He has to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need that.
He has.
We as a fan
Justin
base
had no expectations. Herbert didn't have any of those expectations. I think he didn't even. No one even thought he was going to start.
You don't know what his expectations were from his team.
Well, I mean, like from the outsiders.
Well, he wasn't expected to start. So
who cares? Who cares about the outside? I definitely care.
Well, Shawn cares because he was one of the people who thought Herbert was good. So.
Well, yeah, like one of the 2% of the United States population.
He was very in the very big minority.
Yo, the smile on my face that first game he got put in there, bro, was dropping bombs. I was like,
against the Chiefs.
I knew it.
Isn't Justin Herbert like your in the past like 3 drafts, like your second highest prospect, or is Wilson above him?
No.
So Wilson's your third.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as quarterbacks go, yeah.
Yeah, it's quarterbacks, obviously.
But Herbert's 2 and Lawrence is 1, and honestly, it's like right there for me.
I mean,
Herbert had everything, man. I just think Oregon sandbagged.
Oregon didn't handle the situation right.
No, dude,
I don't
didn't
think,
look as
I don't
good
think
as he could have
Clemson
been.
did either. I mean, Clemson's weapons also were like Cornell Powell and I like Amari Rogers, but
last year, yeah, but the year before that,
yeah, year before that when he had
pretty good. T. Higgins and Justin Ross and
Yeah.
back then, but this past year it was yikes. But that's it for the viewer question segment. Make sure to leave comment your questions. Reply to the tweet on Twitter. Questions, we're going to answer them again next week. Next question is a big one. Should the Jags trade for Zach Ertz? Is part 1. And who will be the Jags tight end 1 next year? That's part 2.
Should we trade for Ertz? Depends on the compensation.
Yeah.
Like, what's it going to cost? I'm not giving up anything higher, in my opinion, than a 4th round pick for him. And I'm sure they want more than that.
Yeah. I think they want a third.
And the latter part of that, who's going to start? I don't think there's going to be a tight end 1 per se.
Yeah,
I think on early downs, you're going to see Chris Mannertz probably out there, maybe the rookie, because they're good at blocking. And then probably on pass downs, I imagine you'll see some combination of Mannertz, who I think they expect to be a better pass catcher than most people will give him, and James O'Shaughnessy. And then maybe if he does anything in preseason and makes the roster, you might see a little bit of Timmy T out there.
Timmy Thibault.
But, I mean, hey, he hasn't had any drops, right? That's what they tell me. No drops yet.
Not a single drop.
Like what? Two touchdowns, I think, from Trevor Lawrence?
That was just one day.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys see preseason, but at this point, I don't know if Tebow makes the roster per se. But, I mean, I think it's going to be early downs, Chris Mannertz, and maybe the other – what's the rookie's name? I keep forgetting his damn name. Luke Farrell. Farrell. Yeah. It just hit me. And on early downs, those 2 guys. And then on pass downs, I think James O'Shaughnessy will probably be the most targeted tight end, in my opinion.
All right, for me, trading for Zach Ertz, yes, as long as it's no higher than a 4th rounder. You guys saw my tight end ranking list. If you haven't, go watch it. But I still think Zach Ertz is a better tight end in the league than most players. I still think he's a pretty good tight end, even though he had one down year. He had Wentz, who was arguably the worst quarterback in the league. He struggled with injuries. But then look before that. His rookie year and last year were the only 2 years that he's not been an above average to good tight end.
Yeah. Right. If it was 3 years ago, then I would give him more. But he's like 31, right?
Yeah, now he's getting older. That's the only reason why I would only send the 4th. But
you're gonna get a tight end for maybe 3 to 4 years, maybe if you re-sign him.
Right.
He'd probably end up being the best tight end in franchise history.
Oh man, Mercedes Lewis, dog.
It's gonna take a minute. He was a pretty solid tight end for us. I don't think it's gonna be easy.
Mercedes Lewis
for a long time.
Mercedes Lewis is the only tight end that we've ever had that was like.
He's still playing, bro. I know this isn't the question, but one of the most egregious non-resignings we ever did.
The Packers really only use him as a blocking tight end. He had like 36 yards last
year.
Yeah,
but we could use blocking.
I know he's still a stud as a block.
Yeah.
What I notice is when these tight ends they get older, they start to just become blockers, and they're still.
He's a stud blocker, and he always has that one big catch a game.
Yes, sir.
What's Mercedes Lewis stat line? Oh, he played 98% of the offensive snaps. Oh, what did he have? 1 catch for 37 yards
and a touchdown.
And he ran like a giraffe all the way to the.
He ran like a giraffe.
And it won in the game.
Unless it was that one game in London. What was it versus
God, that was nuts.
Was it versus the Ravens?
Yes, he had 3
where MJD was like, Jaguars are going to win, Mercedes Lewis?
Yes.
The Jaguars win, Mercedes Lewis. That's all he said. And the announcer was like, and then Mercedes Lewis, touchdown, Mercedes Lewis. It's like he had got 3 touchdowns that game. Oh.
That was a fun game.
We used to have Mercedes Lewis, Allen Robinson, then they're all gone. The pain. We're on the up again, though. We're on the up again.
Yes.
All right. And for me, tight end 1, obviously, like you said, it's like a lot of things. It's going to be more of a rotation or depending on the down and stuff. But It's probably going to be Chris Manhertz because they have talked about him. He's one of the better blocking tight ends in the league in general. And then Urban Meyer has talked about how he surprised them as a receiver. There's that picture of him mossing somebody. I don't know who got mossed.
He also went to tight end university as well, so keep that.
Tim Tebow should have been invited.
Did anybody know if Tebow is going to accept Darren Waller's offer?
I hope he does.
I really
right? Why wouldn't he?
Darren Waller, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Darren Waller offered to mentor Tebow since he didn't get an invite to tight end university, which is pretty sick because Darren Waller is the third best tight end in the league.
Yeah, learn a lot.
He's a good receiver, and he switched positions too, so that's a good.
I kind of have him tied for third, if that makes sense.
Who you have him tied with? Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, yeah.
I have
that dude is a monster.
Mark Andrews is a monster. It's just he has weird moments where it's just like in the playoffs, people blame Lamar, but it feels like Mark Andrews was tipping interceptions.
Well, I mean, he's got a running back throwing the ball. What do you expect him to do? Sorry, that was a joke. Don't come for me.
The Ravens viewers.
Don't come for me. That was a joke.
Attack him on Twitter at Trillwill92.
Changing my at.
He's changing his at.
At number 8 is a running back.
Oh my.
Just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I actually like Lamar Jackson, so.
All right, so that's the tight end conversation. The Jags.
We completely forgot about me.
Brian didn't do his yet, bro.
Jeez Louise. So
Brian, let's let you speak.
Zach Ertz, I think, as everyone's pretty much saying, he's worth it to a certain degree. I would not give up more than a fourth. Honestly, I would sweeten the deal with somebody on our team that's
Gardner Minshew.
Woo!
Yes, Gardner Minshew.
Hey, Darth Minshew. I know you like that.
Gardner Minshew in a fifth.
He would be a good backup / competition for Jalen Hurts, who's my guy, by the way.
I think he'd beat out Hurts. I think he'd beat out Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
I'd be so disappointed if he beat out Hurts. But in terms of tight end one, I don't really think there's a specific tight end one on the team. I think Manhurts. If out of all the guys on the roster right now, I think Manhurts gets the most snaps, both passing and block and run packages, simply because he can do both. Well, more block, but he can catch. But I think he's the one that gets more reps out there. I think O'Shaughnessy is on specific passing downs where the play is designed for him, but Manhurts is quote unquote the tight end one.
Who is the guy?
Till further notice.
Who is the guy that scored our lone touchdown against the Bills? Wasn't he a fullback, or was he a tight end? Playoffs, Bills.
Tommy Bohannon.
Was he a
He was a fullback.
Tommy Banana. Yeah.
I want to see. I can't wait. I cannot wait for preseason, guys. Cannot wait. We didn't get to have it last year. I cannot wait because J.B. Gronk, Tyler Davis.
Oh, that's right. Reps. I forgot about him. We need to see what he
reps.
can do.
Apparently, he runs fast.
Timmy Tebow. We're gonna get to see
Tim Tebow. I cannot wait to watch these guys fight, man. Fight for their lives.
I'm going to the preseason opener in Jacksonville. I'm ready to watch Tim Tebow catch a touchdown in the stadium light up.
Can't wait for Trevor Lawrence to throw a pick six, first pass. Everybody's gonna be like, I knew it. He's a bust because he got drafted by the Jaguars.
Or when Zach Wilson throws an interception on his first pass, like Sam Darnold did.
That's good. Oh my God, I remember that game. I watched it too. It was that was funny. It was against the Lions.
Oh, the Lions got the. So he threw an interception on his first play, and it was
a pick six. I think it was a pick six.
How could you ever think Sam Darnold was going to be good with the Jets after that?
I think Sam Darnold might be good this year.
I said with the Jets.
I know. I'm saying I think he might be good this year.
Yeah. I drafted him in fantasy with my last pick just in case.
If he can't be good on that team,
it's over.
He's not good. He's just not good.
He's never going to start again if he doesn't do good this year.
It's actually a smart play by them. Either he's going to be really good and they're going to do well, or he's going to suck and they're going to have a high draft pick. But I mean, the quarterbacks this year aren't really.
There's Spencer Rattler,
right home about
Malik Willis.
I mean, they should get Sam Howell, man. The hometown. I mean, UNC to Carolina. I mean, could you pick a better?
The class isn't as strong as this recent class, unfortunately.
Yeah, this recent class was almost historic. It was like the second or third class to have 5 first-round quarterbacks.
It was loaded.
It was like the second time that 3 quarterbacks went in the top 3 picks. Like last year was an anomaly.
Yeah.
But besides that, they got plenty of options this next year that they could work out.
Right.
We'll see how that goes. All right. The Jags did not get Hard Knocks. It didn't happen. The Cowboys got it. Yes, we get to watch Jerry Jones.
It would have been nice to have it. I would probably be less upset about it if it wasn't the Cowboys. Like
Nobody. There's no good storyline about the Cowboys either. What? Dak Prescott's coming back from injury.
That's really the only. I think.
I can't wait till we're one of the teams that's like in the list of they have to do it. Make them do it.
Year 2 would be a good time to do it. Really,
we're gonna be good. We're gonna be too good to get Hard Knocks. They're not gonna give it to us because we're gonna be winning.
This year would have been a good year to have it. Tebow, Lawrence, and Urban Meyer. Who doesn't want to watch that?
The Jags this year, Hard Knocks had to be drooling over them. Like we had to decline it. There's no way they did not offer us Hard Knocks. Just too good of a situation.
Right.
I mean, Jihad Ward, who blocked Brian on Twitter.
Yeah, he blocked me for a Tebow comment saying that Tebow got to him when he said something on Twitter. He blocked me and he blocked Gordo too.
Yeah,
a lot of people apparently.
Jihad Ward said, "Stop crying about not getting." He didn't say it directly, but he said, "Stop crying about not getting TV or something," because that's if you get TV, that means you're a loser or something.
He's not wrong.
So, basically says that Jihad Ward did not want Hard Knocks. So. There's a plus.
I like his mentality. I also like that he blocked Brian. That's funny to me. It's funny because I said something too on that thread. He didn't block me.
He didn't block me.
It wasn't offensive. It didn't hurt his feelings. But apparently, what I said hurt his feelings.
It's because you guys assumed he was meaning something while we.
I was joking about it.
Hey, you be nice to him. All right, he has feelings.
He made a whole video referring to Gordo, but not directly saying Gordo's name. It was hilarious.
Wait, what?
After that whole situation, he tweeted a video saying don't say this and this and this on Twitter to somebody who's like this and this and this.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I hate stuff like that.
And Gordo saw it on his burner, and Gordo was going off and off and off.
What the fuck? What are you gonna do?
Hey Gordo, we're not gonna let you forget when Jihad Ward gets 18 sacks. Actually, no, when Jihad Ward gets 27 sacks and breaks the record by a mile, we're not gonna forget.
If Jihad Ward gets 27 sacks this season, I will delete my Twitter.
We would tell Gordo to delete his Twitter now. Say delete every account.
I'm gonna tell Gordo to get on his make a new burner and apologize.
If Jihad Ward even gets 10 sacks,
right?
Oh my God, Gordo's gonna lose his mind.
Every time he gets a sack, Gordo's gonna be killing himself.
He's gonna
God damn
it! Jihad Ward, come on now. He's soft. Cut him.
Right.
Jeez Louise.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But yeah, I don't really care about Hard Knocks. I mean, I wanted it because I like seeing the Jags on TV, but I don't care that we didn't.
And who wouldn't? As a fan, who wouldn't want that?
Exactly.
I can see why they wouldn't want it, but
it's funny because Gordo originally didn't want it, and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "It's a distraction." I'm like, I guess. I guess I could see that perspective, but
it's only going to tear your team down if your
letting
culture, if your culture is already bad enough, and if your culture is bad enough to let Hard Knocks destroy your team, then your team was going to fall apart eventually, anyways.
Right. Imagine if we had Hard Knocks in 2018. Oh my God.
Throwback. Oh, in 2018, Miles Jack almost got a carry at running back. We could have seen it happen. Calais Campbell was saying yesterday that somebody could be I don't know how to say the baseball player guy's name, but dominate that could dominate both sides of the ball. He said Miles Jack, and Miles Jack Miles Jack won freshman of the year on offense and defense in the Pac-12 when he was a freshman.
Imagine Miles Jack at running back for a second. Dude's fast, right? He's also 6'1", 245.
And he knows how to run the ball too. He's got.
That's what I'm saying. 6'1", 245, bro. That's huge.
There were people who were thinking he was a better running back than a linebacker coming out of college. So.
Honestly, his first couple of years, they probably would have been right.
Yeah.
But now he's turned it on. Yeah, he's turned it on. Yeah, now that he's in his natural spot, he's turned it on. So.
Man, imagine when Leonard Fournette went down in 2018, just handing the ball off to Miles Jack. Miles Jack knees probably would have gotten more affected if he was a running back than a linebacker. But either way, they both still take a lot of hits.
Imagine when Telvin Smith comes back and plays strong safety.
Imagine when Telvin Smith comes back and we trade him to the Seahawks.
Woo!
No, we're trading him to the Cowboys. Come on.
No, we're trading him to the Seahawks. The Seahawks just had that Barcarius guy or whatever
Bingo.
his name.
Oh God.
I thought that was the Falcons.
No, well, he was with the Falcons just now, but he was with
Seattle
like last year. He was with Seattle. They had Tamarian Terry who murdered somebody,
and they had Frank Clark too, right? Eventually, they used to have him.
Yeah, they used to have Frank Clark. They had Frank Clark who just got arrested for having an Uzi in his car.
Why does he have a little Uzi in his car?
Who has an Uzi in their car, bro? It's like I get having a.
I heard what you said, Brian. I heard what you said.
Good.
Yeah, he said
little Uzi
in his car.
Why you got a little Uzi in your car?
I get having like a handgun or something as self-defense, but what is an Uzi? Like, why do you have an Uzi in your car?
It's a weird flex.
He said, "Got some enemies. Got a lot of enemies." That's why he needs an Uzi.
Oh my God.
Seattle had Frank Clark. They had Tamarian Terry as a rookie who they already cut because he murdered somebody.
Dude,
they had
I wasn't in the group chat that often when that happened. What was Gordo saying?
I think Gordo is like I never knew. Man. No, that would be that'd be Connor who says he didn't do it.
I can see Gordo saying Tamarian Terry didn't do it.
Oh.
I think he was defending Tamarian Terry.
A lot of people are innocent. It's kind of funny.
God, it's messed up, man.
But yeah, Telvin Smith to the Seahawks for a first-round pick.
Woo! Do they even have any?
They have more than the Rams do.
Fair.
The Rams gave them all away.
I don't think they have one until I think they have one in 2023 because their 2022 one, it went to the Jets.
It doesn't matter. They're going to win a Super Bowl this year, so it doesn't matter.
Who's going to the Seahawks are going to win a Super Bowl?
Rams.
Oh, the Rams.
Rams.
Stafford, baby. He's got to get it.
Stafford MVP season.
I need that. He needs it, and I need it.
Yes, sir. I mean, the Rams are a great situation for Matt Stafford. Like,
hell yes, dude. Probably have the number one defense in the league, and then he's got like massive weapons.
The argument I hate against Matt Stafford is people are like, 12 years and no playoff wins. Bro, the Lions are cursed.
They have no O-line, no defenses the whole time he's been there.
It's like a quarterback. I don't care if he had Calvin Johnson and Kenny Golladay. They still had – look at Calvin Johnson said he hates Detroit. Like, he constantly talks about how much he hates Detroit.
Yeah, because they wouldn't trade him.
We've gotten so off topic. It's kind of crazy.
I know. But
that's what happens when I get back, buddy. I'm sorry.
I know. Right. It's fine. But either way, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you guys in a minute. See you guys then. Peace. All right, guys. We're back. So next thing we're going to talk about is who are our top 5 Jaguars of all time. The thing is, we have 2 different lists for each person. Our top 5, like just who's the best player in Jaguar history, top 5. And then who are our top 5 favorite Jaguars in Jaguars history. I'm going to let Shawn start.
Okay. Number 5.
This is your who's the best, like just best players, top 5.
I feel like it's easier to go 1 to 5 than 5 to 1. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, number 1, I'm going to say the best Jaguar of all time is Fred Taylor. I know people are going to say it's Tony B. Some people might say it's Tony B, but I got to factor in that longevity, man. I know, just like the Hall of Fame does. But I think Fred Taylor, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated running back of all time.
Him and Jamal Charles.
Yes, just a combination of size, speed, power.
He's one of the few guys that genuinely could run through you and run by you.
Yes. So Fred Taylor, in my opinion, is the greatest Jacksonville Jaguar of all time. Number 2 is going to be Jimmy Smith. Again, longevity.
Tony B disrespect?
Hey, it is what it is, baby. Sorry. Jimmy Smith, also, in my opinion, one of the most underrated wide receivers of all time. You don't ever hear his name come up when people have a top 10 list for receivers. That dude smoked out the 2000 Ravens like it was a cheap cigarette, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Nobody could cover him. Nobody.
Most fantasy points by a receiver in a single game in fantasy football history, which basically means he had the best stats of any receiver.
Nobody could cover that, man. He also, in my opinion, hung it up a little early. In my opinion, he retired. Because he retired abruptly after the 2006 season, I think?
Didn't he get in
or 5 season? Well, so as 2005, he abruptly retired for some reason. I think it was because he was probably drugs. I don't know.
Yeah, he got into legal trouble not too long ago.
Right. He still had some left in the tank. But at number 3, I'm going to go with Tony Vaselli. I know you could argue him at 2 or 1. He was arguably the best, only player we've ever had that was you could say he was the best at his position when he played.
Yeah.
But he only played for 6-7 years. It's not very long. I think his last year he didn't really play though.
His last year was not with us. It was with Houston.
He didn't really play. I don't think
he didn't play at all. He never played
was
a
hurt.
snap for them. They stole him in their redraft or whatever.
I thought it was in their expansion draft.
Expansion draft. That's what I'm talking about. They stole him in the expansion draft, and he never played a snap for him. He got hurt or something in
the shoulder.
preseason.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So probably the best left tackle to ever play the game, in my opinion. But I mean, it is what it is. The longevity factors in for me when it comes to all-time Jaguars. Call what you want. Okay, number 4. I'm gonna say Maurice Jones-Drew, probably. I'm not as high as some people are on him. Some people think he was better than Fred Taylor. I call those people crackheads.
Some people think we should retire his jersey.
Yeah, no, thank you. My guy didn't even have 10K rushing yards.
Only the top 3 guys have an argument for retiring their jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
My guy didn't even crack. Like I said, he didn't even crack 10K rushing yards. I'm good. I'm good on that. Dude, he had 3 to 4 years where he was amazing, and then it kind of
yeah, he fell off quickly.
Yeah. And then number 5. In my opinion, you could flip a coin for either Mark Brunell or Keenan McCardell, however you want to do it.
Who are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go Keenan, just because Brunell, in my opinion, yes, he's the best quarterback in Jaguars history, but that's not saying much.
He probably rank in the 30s.
Didn't he never threw for more than 20 touchdowns in a season? Okay, but I'll go Keenan just because he's also a coach for us, so that also factors in.
Yeah.
He was a good coach, and he was a great player. So I'm going to go Keenan as number 5.
All right. I'll take my list, leaving Brian in last, per usual. But my number 1 is Tony B. I'm one of the Tony Vasellis, the best Jaguars of all time. You could flip a coin between him and Fred Taylor. Doesn't bother.
My guy never saw Tony B play a snap.
Okay, I never saw any of these guys play a snap. What?
That's a point.
This is not fair.
Your greatest Jaguar of all time should be John Henderson. That's probably when you.
Hey, don't hate on Henderson.
John Henderson's top 10.
I'm not hating on Henderson because Henderson's going to make an appearance in my favorites.
Damn,
exposed. But Tony Vaselli, like you said, if he played for a longer amount of time and just how he played when he did play, he was arguably the best tackle of all time. The best play, like Bruce Smith. I think Bruce Smith has the all-time sack number. He has the most sacks in the NFL history. He said the hardest guy he ever played against was Tony Vaselli.
Tony shut him down.
All these legendary defensive ends said Tony was the guy that they just got aggravated at. They could not beat him. No matter how pissed off they got and how hard they worked, Tony Vaselli just shut him out. It was just too easy. And, Tony survived COVID too, so that gives him an extra jump in my book. Respect. I think he said he lost a bunch of weight during that too. But, yeah, Tony's my number 1 just because I think he could have been the best at his position of all time if he played for longer. And nobody else on the Jags list could say that. Fred Taylor is my number 2. You could argue him for number 1 very easily. You could flip a coin for them. He's one of the most underrated running backs of all time. He's a Florida Gator, so that gives him another boost in my book.
He is the most there's no arguable. He's the most underrated running back of all time.
Literally just look at the stats. Look at all of the top running backs. Hall of Fame, 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 Fred Taylor.
Like he said, look at the defenders in the Hall of Fame from when he played. He said he ran circles around all those motherfuckers, man. All of them.
Exactly. It's just Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame, no question. It's crazy that guys that were worse than him, a ton of guys that were worse than him.
He was on IMF. I think he said, "I murk these dudes every Sunday."
Exactly.
I was like, "Damn!"
I know. I am athlete is good, bro.
He said, "I don't care if they hear it." He said, "They know the truth."
And it's not like they're playing each other on Sundays anymore. So,
right?
But Fred Taylor, most underrated running back of all time. He was elite for Florida too. So, what can I say? Fred Taylor's number 2. Number 3, Jimmy Smith, the Twitter GOAT. Jimmy Smith is a GOAT on Twitter. He follows me on Twitter. He replies to literally just tag Jimmy Smith. If you haven't done it, tag Jimmy Smith on Twitter, say something, he'll reply. He'll retweet it or he'll like it. It's great. It's fun.
It's great.
Hopefully we can get Jimmy on the podcast one day. And if Jimmy does come on the podcast one day, he's going to be better than Tony Baselli. That's all I'm saying. But
yo, Adam, when you post it, dog.
Yes, sir. But Jimmy Smith, like he said, like Shawn said, one of the most underrated receivers of all time. Just watch him absolutely burn Deion Sanders, burn all these other great receivers. Corners. Thank you. But he was toasting everybody. He toasted arguably the best defense of all time in that Ravens defense. They just could not stop him. Nobody could stop him. Him and Keenan were amazing. Jimmy.
Yeah, he doesn't get the respect he deserves, and I think it's solely due to his off the field stuff.
Exactly. And it's similar with Ocho Cinco. Like Ocho Cinco, he gets recognition by the fans, but he's never going to get in the Hall of Fame because of his off the field stuff.
His on the field stuff too.
Yeah.
All his antics. Yeah.
But
same thing with T.O.
Like they'll never get in the Hall of Fame for dumb reasons. Like they should, but I digress. But Jimmy Smith, he's a GOAT. Follow him on Twitter because he follows everybody. Just ask for a follow. All my friends, like Johnny in the group chat was just like, I die. He was like, I died when he retweeted my tweet or something. I'm like, you know what, Jimmy, Johnny, give me a second. And I just tagged Jimmy. I was like, hey, yo, can you follow this guy? And he followed him.
Wow.
It's a great guy.
Jimmy's just a great guy. It's what can you not love about him? I got to get his jersey. Oh, wait, funny story. Funny story.
I'll explain that after I'm done with my.
Yeah, I'll let Brian explain the story. But let me go ahead and finish my list. My 4th Jaguar of all time is also MJD. I don't really need to explain it more than Shawn. Shawn hit everything about MJD. He should not have his number retired, but he still was a great Jaguar for us. In 2007, he was a big part of that 2007 team. I know MJD
led the league in rushing 2011.
MJD came out and was just like, we should have won the Super Bowl in 2007, talking about the team. It was a really cool article. MJD is not a good analyst at all, but on the football field, he was pretty good until he wasn't. But he's the number 4.
Doesn't that go for everybody? You're pretty good till you weren't.
And then my number 5 is Mark Brunell. You pick Keenan. I picked Mark Brunell. He's the best quarterback in franchise history. He was the quarterback the year we almost went 19 or should have gone 19-0. He was really good for that couple years.
It wasn't because of him.
I know it wasn't because of him.
It was running game and defense.
But he helped. Ironically, Mark Brunell wasn't even supposed to be the starter when we first started as a franchise.
It was supposed to be
Steve Berline.
Steve Berline,
yeah. Right. And then didn't he get hurt or did he just suck and got benched?
I don't really know. I wasn't watching football at the time.
He probably got hurt.
But yeah, Steve Berline was supposed to be the starter, and then Mark Brunell came in and took over and had the best years in Jags history, unless you want to say 2017 or 2007. But
it's not saying much.
You know, Mark
He's
Brunell,
the epitome of average quarterback.
Pretty much. I mean, he played for a long time, so he had decent stats.
Dude had Fred Taylor in the backfield, Jimmy Smith out wide, Keenan out wide, and a top 5 defense every year. What do you think's going to happen? Ask Blake Bortles.
I mean, better than Blake Bortles, but...
Yeah, Blake Bortles threw for 35 touchdowns.
And like 37,000 interceptions, too. Blake Bortles was a wannabe Jameis Winston.
Oh, boy.
You could argue that Blake Bortles' 2017 season was better than all of Mark Brunell's seasons. Or just as good as.
Or wasn't it his 2016 season? He came in at like 50-something in the top 100 voted by other players. Yeah,
he came in after the 2015 season when he had 35 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, which was all garbage time. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Not going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. But that's my top 5 best players in Jags history. Brian, take it away, and we'll get to your story after.
So Shawn's not going to like this, but number 1 is going to obviously be Fred Taylor.
I do like that.
Okay, maybe it was the opposite of the other player.
Josiah is the one that had Tony B.
Okay.
I said you could flip a coin and put Fred. So
Fred Taylor is obviously it's got to be number 1. I'm not even thinking about longevity on my list. By the way, it's just who I think was the best top 5. Obviously, Fred Taylor. The guy carried that team.
If only he never had those injuries. Imagine his numbers if he never had those injuries.
Yeah. Number 2, of course, has to be Tony Vaselli. Just because he was the first pick of their franchise history. He was a cornerstone. He didn't play long, but just the best at his position in that time period. Probably could have been the best ever if he had kept playing, but injuries.
I'm glad he didn't keep playing because he would have had to play for the Texans.
Yeah, that would have been weird. Number 3, Jimmy Smith.
Didn't we only put him up for that because he was hurt?
I think so.
So if he was never hurt, he would have been playing for us still.
True. That's true.
Number 3, Jimmy Smith. For obvious reasons, he was one of the best wide receiver in Jaguar history till God only knows when. Hopefully, Chark can change that.
Yeah, DJ Chark said he wants to be breaking.
Yeah, it's possible. Number 4, Jones-Drew. I actually have a Jizz jersey. He's like the only one player that's been good that I have his jersey. And this is going to be a surprise for number 5. Rashean Mathis.
I don't hate it.
Rashean Mathis.
Rashean was really good.
Loved him.
Probably the best corner.
Loved him. He was
best Jaguars corner of all time.
He's one of the best corners that team's ever had.
Better than that
Slept on
bozo.
by many fans.
He's better than that bozo down there in Los Angeles.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I gotta say Rashean Mathis. That man was really solid. He's better than people give credit for.
He was a stud in 07. He intercepted.
Yes, exactly. That's what stands out. He was.
Didn't he have a couple interceptions versus Pittsburgh, or was it just the one that
he had a
sealed
pick
the
6
game?
against Pittsburgh.
He was Big Ben's nightmare.
Yes.
And then he went to Detroit and still played pretty decent.
Yes.
Goat.
Which was kind of sad to see them do that, but
All right, so unfortunately, I got to tell this story. So Jimmy Smith and I had a nice exchange on Twitter. It was really cool. He's like basically said, "Hey, I'll give you an autographed Jimmy Smith jersey." I was freaking out at work, of course.
Wait, you found a good one on the eBay.
Found a good one on the website.
And you tweeted it. You said, "I'm gonna cop this," and Jimmy.
I was like, "I'm gonna cop this. I'm gonna cop this jersey," and he's like, "Have me sign it, and I'll send it to you." Well, I don't know what I was thinking, but I messed up, and I had it shipped somewhere incorrectly, and I think he signed it.
No, you had it shipped to his PO box, like he said, but you didn't.
Sent it to the wrong guy.
You should have gotten it first. So you could have put a return label in it. You never put a return label in it.
Yeah.
He said he was going to do it for you, but
Right.
I don't know if he ever did.
Imagine if he shipped it straight back to the people you bought it from. So I
think that's what happened.
You paid them for the jersey, and then it got signed, and then they just got it back. They're like, "Oh, well, I might as well keep it now, unless they."
I think that's what happened. I think pretty much that's what happened. I don't know. Either way, I messed it up.
It's not really funny. It's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, it stinks.
I'm thinking about it.
I didn't spend much. I mean,
it was a really good price and a good jersey too.
Yeah,
I've been pissed.
My first, and I was not happy, but I moved on. It was an unfortunate situation, but
This was like
it was still pretty cool talking to Jimmy, briefly, and I was even talking to him via direct message on Twitter. But it is what it is. So I learned a lesson.
I've been looking on eBay trying to get myself a Jimmy Smith jersey, and none of them have had prices good like you got that. You got yours for like $20 or something like that, and I was like, dang, and it was good, and then
I messed it up.
And then F in the chat.
Yep.
I'll never forget that story, but that was hilarious. That was straight up hilarious. All right. You did give your 5th. Okay, so now we're gonna do our top 5 favorite Jags of all time.
Let me go first this time since I want to last.
Okay, Brian.
All right. So favorite. Should I do this in order? I don't know. Are we doing it in order?
However you want to do it, man.
All right. I'm just gonna do like my favorites. I'm not gonna particular order. So first is obviously Jones-Drew because I have his jersey. One of the classic. I think it's not the Reebok jersey, but it's like the Adidas jersey.
My list is
the Reebok jerseys were horrible.
My list is going to be so different from theirs just because of my age and like what I've witnessed and stuff, but we'll see.
My next would be Allen Robinson. I still miss that guy. He was a beast. He could have been so great for us if he had stayed.
Probably the 3rd best receiver in franchise history, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first had him and he dropped the passes and people called him Allen Dropison?
Man, that was
old takes exposed.
Cool.
He still drops all the balls.
Here's a good one. This should be a fan favorite. Paul Posluszny.
Hmm.
I grew up with him. That's when I really started watching the Jags, and Paul Posluszny was a beast. People sleep on him. He was pretty solid for a really bad team. He kept that team together in 2017, by the way.
Our linebacker group fell apart in 2018 after he
when he left. Yep. As soon as I saw him leave, I'm like, we are in trouble. This is an obvious one. This should be everybody's. Calais Campbell. Even though he wasn't there for that long, he became fan favorite very quickly. He's the mayor of Jacksonville. End of debate. And number 5, when I first started watching the Jaguars.
He's the mayor of Saxonville.
Everybody knows this guy for his famous pregame rituals. John Henderson. John Henderson.
Harder, Joe. Come on. You got more than that.
Come on, Joe.
Give me more than that.
What comes to my goddamn mouth? Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Oh, my God. That was amazing. That was Monday Night Football, too. So
I wonder how Joe felt being told, yes, slap me, a guy who could literally
Joe was
kill
probably
you.
petrified.
Like, Joe could have gotten straight up killed by John Henderson. And
If
Joe
he
is just
wanted
like,
to, yeah.
I guess I got to slap.
Oh, my God.
But,
yeah,
those are some
5.
good picks. I'm going to go last this time just because my list is going to be so different. But,
Okay.
Shawn, take it away.
Number 1 favorite Jaguar. I'm going to start in reverse order, actually. Number 5 favorite Jaguar of all time, Blake Bortles.
Oh, the boat.
Because that
Honorable mention for me, though.
That dude, regardless of how much he sucked, my God, were his press conferences in 2017 hilarious.
What would you be doing if you weren't playing football?
He said, was he working construction? He said, ripping cigs and working construction.
And the lady was dropping hints left and right, and he's just like,
dude, I love Blake Bortles. Like, the question's like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? He said, probably piss. Blake Bortles is so cool. He may suck, but he's probably like super.
He was going to the beach bars and
To
everything.
hang out with, man. He just like seems one of those really cool, down to earth guys.
Like
I feel like that's gonna be Trevor soon. Like where you'll see him out and about once he's like really.
I know he sucked or whatever, but I mean, he gave us 2017. That was a great year.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm probably gonna go with John Henderson for reasons you mentioned. He was just a really cool guy.
Monster.
He was like the heart and soul of that defense, to be honest, when he played. Him and Stroud in the middle. Those are like the guys.
Yep.
Number 3, I'll probably go. I'm gonna go Mike Peterson. Y'all probably don't really remember him. Middle linebacker. That dude was a beast when he played. The only reason why we ever got rid of him was because him and Jack Del Rio bumped heads.
Jack Del Rio was actually a pretty decent coach until the GM screwed him over.
Yeah.
Blaine Gabbert.
Drafted Blaine Gabbert while he was traded up for Blaine Gabbert while Jack Del Rio was at a buffet.
But yeah, so I like him. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Fred Taylor because I still watch Fred Taylor all the time on the I Am Athlete podcast,
right?
And on YouTube and everything. And that dude's really cool, man. He's super smart, man. And I just love that dude. He's like my favorite Jaguar. Yeah, he's my favorite Jaguar, and I think he was the best one of all time. And then number 1, I'm trying to think about this right now because I'm trying to think who do I want to put number 1. I got a couple guys I could throw in there. Should I say Gardner Minshew? No, I'm not doing that.
Oh my God,
I'm not gonna go.
Would be losing his mind right now.
I'm not gonna go that far. My number 1's gonna be hilarious to y'all. But the only reason why he's number 1 is because he gave me hope to be a wide receiver as a white guy.
Oh, no.
And his name is Matt Jones.
Oh, no.
I wanted to be a receiver so bad when I was in like middle school. And Matt Jones gave me hope. Dude came in with the long blonde hair, 6'5", 220, ran a 4.3.
Cole Beasley, question mark?
Woo! Matt Jones was that guy. He just had to do cocaine. And then he didn't even get suspended. Well, he got suspended, but he didn't even get cut for that. He got cut because he was, and I quote, "I had a few beers while golfing." That was a parole violation. Cut. I was like, man, and then that year was 2008. He was finally coming on, man. He played 12 games. I think he had like 700 some odd yards. He had like 4 touchdowns. I was like, man, he's actually coming on. He might actually if he would have played 16 games, he might have broke 1,000 yards.
And then cut.
Damn. Couldn't have a beer while golfing. I don't even know what he's doing now. I think he was hosting radio in Arkansas last I checked, but I don't know.
Arkansas?
You ever get a chance? That's where he is. The college you went to.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You ever watch If you want to watch some old ass college highlights, watch some Matt Jones highlights. You watch that dude run. Holy crap!
All right, time for my list. Coming in at number 5, I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. Currently on the roster. Josh Allen's just a great guy, bro. I met
him in person. So
I met him in person.
Met a
He
couple
autographed my card. He's a great guy around the community. He's taking after the mayor, Calais Campbell. You just can't not like him. He's been mature since the day we drafted him. He was a steal. He's a good player. I mean, last year he struggled. But
Thank the Raiders for that one, by the way. They screwed
and the
that
Giants.
One. And the Giants.
The Giants had 2 first-round picks. They could have taken Daniel Jones later. But
Yep.
So that's my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with Fred Taylor. Even though I didn't get to watch him play, Fred Taylor, he's one of the best Gators of all time, one of the best Jags of all time. He was super good. Even though I didn't get to watch him live, I've watched Fred Taylor. Don't get that wrong. And he's just great. The I Am Athlete podcast is hilarious. I just love Fred Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like I said, the Gator, being a great Gator, gives him another boost. Number 3, I got to think about this. Should I pick Gardner Minshew? Should I pick DJ Chark? I'm just kidding.
Jalen Ramsey, dog.
Jalen Ramsey. I hate Jalen Ramsey, bro.
I hate him for how he left, but you got to admit, when he was here, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to win that bitch.
That's probably one of the greatest moments of the decade for the Jaguars.
One of those iconic things ever said in Jaguars history. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and skip number 3 because I'm actually not sure. Number 2, I'm going to go Calais Campbell because he's the mayor. Like, you just can't not love Calais. He was the mayor. Even though he was a stud here, he had a defensive player of the year worthy. What'd you say, Brian?
I don't get it either, Brian.
How do you just skip number 3? You don't just skip 3. You gotta pick. The hell?
Well, it's because I already know who I had at 1 and 2. I just didn't know who to put at 3. So
you got put DJ Chark there then.
Yeah, come on.
God damn.
You know what? Screw it. I'll throw CJ Henderson. I'm just kidding. CJ Henderson he's a Gator, but that's it. I mean, he hasn't done anything on the football field. He doesn't post on Instagram. He doesn't do anything. I'll put Laviska Shenault at 3 just because I like Viska a lot. Viska or DJ Chark, either way.
Okay.
I don't really care.
It's fine.
But number 2, Calais. He did everything for the community. He had a Defensive Player of the Year worthy season in 2017. He was a stud. I think he's like 3rd or 4th in career sacks in Jags
sacks.
history, even though he was only here for 3 years.
Says a lot.
I met Calais as well. Got an autograph from Calais, so that's another boost. And it's just Calais Campbell. He's a big friendly giant like that movie BFG. But my number 1 is Jimmy Smith, the Twitter GOAT. Like he's just he's so good on Twitter, bruh. I've seen his highlights. I've seen his highlights. I watched all games. He was a stud. He's great on Twitter. He's a great guy. You just can't not love Jimmy Smith as well. It's like,
that's
come
fair.
on.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite current Jaguar?
Actually, no. Number 3 is Trevor Lawrence.
Is that your favorite? Is Trevor Lawrence your favorite current Jaguar?
Yes.
Then who's your favorite current Jaguar, Brian?
Ooh.
It's hard for me.
Excluding Trevor Lawrence is Josh Allen, but
yeah, it's hard for me to choose.
What's that face, Brian? Brian did this.
Man. Brandon Linder.
That's fair.
Brandon Linder. One of the longest tenured
Tyler
Jaguars.
Shatley's better. I'm just kidding.
For me, it's like a toss-up for me between Chark and Robinson.
Yeah, I
Robinson's my
just gotta say,
favorite.
I don't really talk about Linder, but like, he's probably one of the best.
Actually, I lied.
Ever for the Jags.
My favorite current Jaguar, y'all know who it is. Andrew Wingard, baby.
Oh my God!
How did you forget
Wingard, baby?
How'd you forget him initially, bro?
I don't know, but that's my guy, bro.
Oh,
Yo, but no cap.
I gotta say
After
Linder.
this year, though, it might end up being Shawn Jenkins. I love that guy's energy.
Rayshon Jenkins.
He's
gonna be
good.
a
He's
stud.
cool. He has a really good
I
person.
like him, and
Shaq Griffin.
I like Roy Robertson Harris too.
Oh yeah, Roy.
Those guys might be
named
good.
his son Jax.
Yeah, those guys could become fan favorites. I feel like
We have so many players who could become fan favorites now. It's actually nice. It's refreshing for a while.
Yeah, Shaq Griffin.
Yes.
Shaq Griffin's already a fan favorite by multiple people.
He hasn't even played yet.
All right. So that's our top 5 Jaguars and our top 5 of all time, and then our top 5 favorite Jags of all time. Let's go ahead and move on to the last thing. It's a short little thing, but today, Urban Meyer and Trent Baalke, I said it right. Trent Baalke.
Yep.
They were both subpoenaed for a lawsuit against Chris Doyle in Iowa, which Chris Doyle, he was hired and then fired a day later. Or he wasn't fired, he resigned, but we know he was forced out. Like, come on. And it's nothing big. People are overreacting, acting like Urban's a failure and stuff. But it's really more of Iowa's issue than ours.
Right.
And all they're just going to ask is, why'd you hire him? Why did he resign? Or why'd you force him out or whatever?
Right.
Not a big deal. People don't understand what subpoena means anymore. I had to explain it to an entire Twitter comment section earlier what that means. 2020 or 2021.
He's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
It's a coup.
He's getting sued.
He's getting sued. Oh my God.
I swear, Urban Meyer cannot do a single thing without somebody taking it out of context to make him look bad.
Jesus.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. First episode with Shawn back since the revamp.
My least favorite Jaguar of all time is Josh Lambo because he stunned me for a picture.
I like Josh Lambo, bruh. I've met Josh Lambo twice.
I hope Dr. DUI beats him out as kicker.
Sir, you did not say that. I didn't realize we had a really long podcast today.
Dr. DUI.
Dr.
Dr. DUI, bro. You know who that is?
Do you know who that is?
I do, but like that, what kind of nickname is that?
Well, he got a DUI. That's why he got cut from the Giants.
Oh my God. Dr. DUI.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow our Twitters that are below me and next to Brian. Follow our Twitters. Make sure to follow the podcast Twitter. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Do all that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Peace.